Looks like we're live. Welcome everybody to uh, maybe a special episode of Sweetcast. Maybe this will become a more common occurrence, but I'm gonna do open mic. Don't tell Peter Samedi this is going to be an open mic. I don't think he'd like that. But uh, in all seriousness, I've been thinking for a little while, and I even put, you can join the channel, and I have in the channel memberships that if you join, then I can consult, because most of the time it seems like what people want from me is they want advice on crowdfunding. I always get questions all the time, so I thought, why not join the channel and I can consult, or we'll do it live and I get content out of it, you know. So we're probably going to do a little bit of that. Probably going to do a little bit of promotion as well, a little bit of cross promotion. If you have something to promote, you can do that within reason. Promotion is not as entertaining as everyone thinks. Everyone thinks their own promotions are entertaining, but when you watch someone else's, it gets boring. So we'll make it within reason. So yeah, Eric Weathers says, hope this stream is clean. Kids are listening. Yeah, I want to make this family friendly, and I will not feel bad about kicking anybody. If the need should arise, I will kick you. No offense. It's just that is the rule. But love seeing you all here. Sierra Whiskey said, you done it. I did. Story time with Yang Yan Zhao. I always want to add a Z to the second word in your name. Hey, he says, welcome. Statistical Zeros here. He says, evening, Clint. Evening. We got Sierra Whiskey, but he says, I want you to get frames for your posters. I should. It's one of those things where I just put them up because I had them and they're still there. They're pinned up there, but I should get frames. And I've been thinking even comic frames. I'd like to hang more stuff up. Yep, Eric's here. Hello all. Hello. Let's see. Oh, he's talking to Sarah Whiskey. Excellent. Paul Riley's here. He says, hey Clint. Hey Paul Riley. Great to see you here. So we're gonna do a little bit of that. I'm gonna share this out though. Let me get into my channel and I'll share this out so that people know it's coming. And I've got a few updates. I'm gonna get some questions out of the way to start off with, because I know that they're always the same kinds of questions that show up, and it makes sense. First off, let's talk about Fatal. I think. Let me share the screen. Share screen. There we go. We're sharing Downcast, but we'll look at these other campaigns first. I want to talk about Fatal right off the bat because I get a lot of questions about Fatal. So right now, 95,784. This is fantastic. It really is amazing. And it has been going to good work. I'll tell you that. Production of this book has been delayed, as I have been mentioning in the updates. So far, I've got 21 updates on the campaign. I realize that not everybody is always following the campaign updates. I get questions. And this is still an extremely high priority. Charlie's working on it. And it's going. So we're still working on it, but it is late. And so I apologize for that. But I'm telling you, I think you're really going to be happy with the product that you get when it is finished. It's worth the wait is basically what I'm saying. I think it will be worth the wait, but I get why people are asking questions. And from now on, I want to do campaigns where they're finished first. If I can possibly do that, that'll save me a lot of it'll save everybody a lot of waiting and everyone a lot of trouble. So that's sort of the goal, I think, moving forward. But in this case, I mean, to get someone like Charlie Snogan to do the artwork, I think the wait is going to be worth it. His art is just amazing, as you've already seen on the campaign. So that's Fatal. All right, so let's check up in on Downcast and see where we're at. We're into day 3, and day 3 is historically where things start dragging and they slow down. So everything is expected here. This is now my fourth rodeo with a campaign, and I still get a little bit of anxiety, but it's nowhere near what it was on, on the first ones. When the campaign starts slowing down, you kind of panic. Everything's fine. So I'm actually feeling pretty good right here about this one. And actually, if we look at the campaign, we're literally one backer away from 300 backers, which is quite a place to be. That's a really good progress. I'm excited for that. And we're almost at $17,000. Looks like we're only $150 away from 17,000. So in theory, one backer could move us to 300 backers and to 17,000. That would be amazing. You'd have to, back a high tier and put add-ons on, I think, to get there. But I think if we had, I don't know, 3 backers ish, that could get us there. 3-4 backers, we'll say that. And I think that'd be fantastic. So we're going to be looking at that sporadically throughout the stream. All right. Chimera's here. He says, where am I? The stream? Yeah. So I took the name. I took the name from a radio program here locally. There's a radio station they have a segment called Hello, Yeah, What? And that it means you can call in and basically say whatever you want, and they'll listen to you for a moment, very short moment. I'm going to give people more time than just a moment. So I don't know, that could be better. Magnificent One is here. He says, congrats on the campaign. Looking good at almost 17,000. Proud backer number 183. Thank you so much, Magnificent One. I really appreciate the support. Every single person that has been supporting this campaign, I can't thank you enough, because it means that I get to keep making comics, which is exactly what I want to be doing. Enjoying that wrench. Does that mean Chimera doesn't have a wrench? I could probably give you a wrench if you want one. Here, Chimera, I'm giving you ultimate power. Add moderator. There you go. I'm pretty loose with the wrenches. Do your country proud. Roland here says, yo, Clint, I found a 30 CRT on the side of the road today, and it works great. All right. That's so random, but cool. Nice. Conquest Comics is here. He gives me it's not just a smile, it's an open smile. Is that extra happy? Could be. Change that video thumbnail, huh, Clint? Yep, I listened to feedback. Ethan said he didn't like the thumbnail I put up there, and he said I should put this one, so I changed it. That's a beautiful thing about crowdfunding, is you can do that kind of stuff off the fly. I think that I might change it again too. I actually did that with Fatal quite often. I would change not necessarily this thumbnail, but ones that would rotate around on Twitter, just because it just looks like a new link, so people might look at it. Jim Cox is here. Hello. Yeah, hit like. Okay, we got conversation going on. All right. You can only use it to drop Battle Brick Road links. That's apparently the rule for the wrench. My arm's all scraped up from carrying it up 5 flights. My goodness. You're up high. I'm glad you survived. Lay back, relax. We should have some fun. So I did drop the link too, just so you know, Eric, I dropped the link in case you want to come in. No pressure. I'm going to have floods of all sorts of people, but I figured I'd put the invite in my normal, usual room anyway, just to see what happens. And we'll go from there. But I think we're going to have a good time. So I'm going to go over some ground rules after I read this Aloha, dudes, from Bianca Fights the Zombies. Welcome. Ground rules. Okay. If you're promoting your own book, that is fantastic. Okay. But we're going to keep it short. So give me a short, I could set a timer, but I don't know if I don't know if I really want to do that. I might have to, because I know how people are. I get long-winded with pitches. That's not what we want. We want a quick pitch, make it snappy, and you're out. That's it. If you want to consider, maybe you're thinking about making your own comic book. Maybe that's the case. All right. And you have questions about making a comic, you can bring them up here, ask me, ask the chat. That works too. Yeah, Eric Weathers is saying 3 minutes. I think that's generous even. But yeah, I think 3 minutes for sure. If it's going over 3 minutes, that's too long. That it's just, it's way too long. All right. So you could ask questions about making a comic. You can ask questions about crowdfunding. Again, that's what most people want from me. I get emails all the time. People want advice on crowdfunding. So if you have a campaign you want to look up, if you have a specific question, this reminds me of when I was a kid growing up. We used to drive to my grandma's house, who was about an hour and a half away, and we would sit in the car, and my dad would listen to a gardening show. It'd be Saturday mornings, and people would call in and ask about whatever the bugs that are in their trees eating their fruit or whatever. They'd ask questions like that. Same kind of thing. You can ask a question. Don't ask me all the questions, again, within reason. But ask me a question and I'll see if I can answer it, or the chat will at least, or we'll have fun anyway. You can say anything as long as it's family friendly. That's what I care about. All right. So having said all that, I think we're good to go. So I'm gonna drop this link. Don't make me regret this. Copying the link. I suspect there are people out there that want to promote their books, and that we might get some of that. I posted it directly into the chat, and we'll see how that goes. We got Michael here. Morning, Clint. This too early for us Brits. Just got up to use the bathroom and had a quick look at my phone, and behold, you were live. Going back to bed now. Can you do a UK live stream? Good morning / night. Great to see you. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy sleeping. That's not a bad idea. The problem is I work during the day, and so I've been trying to work out times that I can stream that work well with the UK and other places during the world, but I have a day job, so it just gets a little tough. I'll say that, but it's definitely something I want to do. I think Saturdays could work better for that for sure. Here's a question, and you can ask questions like this too if you don't want to jump in the stream. That's okay. So Del A says, Sweetcast, did you create an LLC before you started publishing? Fantastic question. Well, I did create an LLC. I have an LLC. Did I create it before I started publishing? No. So I'm no stranger to starting LLCs. I've done little businesses here and there. I have many failed businesses in my time. I've had a couple successful ones, small, very small businesses, nothing massive or anything. But yeah, so what I did with publishing is I realized that, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you put money into all the business infrastructure first, and it ends up being, they just take your money for a license that doesn't do you much good. So I started the campaign. I started publishing first, and then I started my LLC once I saw that it appears that things are going to be working, So it was soon after that I started my LLC, which I think is a good idea, generally speaking. So I hope that helps. All right, we have our first guest here. Let's see. We have Liam Gray. Welcome to Hello. Yeah,
Hey
what?
guys. Hey man, I just wanted to say that I think what you're doing here is really amazing. And congratulations. I think that crowdfunding is the way of the future. I've got Wonder Island coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'm a bit crook, so I won't stick around. But I just want to say that genuinely impressed with your efforts, Clint, and I think that you're doing everything right, man, and mad respect.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, and good luck. What was the name of your book again, you said?
I've got a few coming up, and the next one I'm going to be launching is called Wonder Island, and that'll be probably in the next couple of weeks at most. So
wow, coming up quick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a long time. I think, like you said earlier, it's getting stuff done a bit beforehand, before you launch, I think is key. Got to keep these things consistently coming out. But anyway, like I said, I'm a bit crook. Godspeed, guys. Don't be afraid to come on in and hang out and talk to him. Thanks. I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you later, Liam. All right. That short and sweet. I like that. Let's see. Roland here says UK is about 6 hours ahead of Clint. Yeah. Funny thing too, when I streamed with Nacho, was that yesterday? It feels like it was a long time ago. Maybe it was yesterday. I worked at that to be right after work for me at the very end of my workday. At first I was thinking he was I was ahead of him. So I was thinking I'm going to be streaming at 10 at night. And then I triple checked and I was like, no, Argentina time is before my time. So anyway, I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad I double checked it, but it made me a little nervous. But yeah, it's crazy. It really is. This is worldwide we're talking about. How can I get creatives interested into my retro French anthology concepts? Yeah, uh, that's it's an interesting concept. So we've seen a few anthologies on crowdfunding campaigns, but we haven't seen very many really that are Comicsgate anthologies, so to speak. I've got a few ideas, I guess, of what would make an anthology better, but I'm not 100% sure of what would really get a ton of interest surrounding it. I heard that Billy Tucci was thinking about doing a She anthology at some point. I think he said that definitely not in private. I think he said that at some point, but it's been a long time since I think he mentioned it. So I don't even know if that's going to happen, but I think the theme is a big component to it. If you can think of, a theme that inspires people that they want to jump in on. I know some of those UK guys are doing twisted fairy tales, which I it may or may not be inspired by the Rainbow the Brute Cool Story Bro anthology. Those are right now anthologies that are around, but it's still I'm not sure how well an anthology would sell by itself. So I think the more you can do to get people excited about it by the theme, I think that's a good place to go. Chat, I'm open to suggestions here. But I even think it would be cool to do an anthology of one-page stories. I think that could be really cool, where you have to do it in one single page, and you could, I don't know, pick a theme and make it work. Let's see. Would you go to cons to sell your books? Yeah, I would. I know a lot of people are averse to going to comic conventions. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the timing, but like, for example, Ethan never wants to go to a convention again. Someone like Peter Samedi is not big on conventions, at least right now, but though he has done a lot of conventions. For me, it's something I want to do for the sake of doing it. It's not so much about, let me see how much money I can make, but I don't know. I'd be really suspicious of making much money at a convention. I'm not sure what to expect, but it doesn't sound like they're super lucrative right now. Having said that, I would just love to meet people. That sounds like fun to me, and to potentially get in front of other people. We got another question here. How many Downcast books in total are you planning? So I've planned it out in story arcs, essentially. I have, including this one. So this is starting a new story arc. I have one more story arc after this one. So for the submerged story arc, I have 2 books planned that I'd like to do. So this one and the next one. And then I have one more story arc. But the way I'm thinking right now that I'll end this down the submerged story arc is that it'll end it'll generally sort of wrap things up in some respects, kind of like the first one if you read the first and second book. So there's some resolution, and I don't know, we'll see. I'd love though to do basically 4 more books, including this one, Downcast 3, so there'd be 6 total. If I had everything my way. Let's see. Just have boobs and butts, the anthology. Everyone likes that. Yeah, I mean, you could make it part of the plan, I guess. Well, it would be an anthology in regards to creatives. I already mentioned it to you, the character analogs. Yeah, and I know we emailed a little bit about this. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about really specifics. I could probably come up with an idea. If you give me parameters, I could come up with an idea for my contribution, like to a story, for an anthology. But the whole like wrangling, the cat herding aspect of an anthology, being in charge of the whole thing, I don't have any experience there, but that would be interesting. I don't know. I think it could be done right. Guns and buns, that could be a good one. I think you could offer the anthology through many different campaigns as an additional item. that could be interesting. You'd have to coordinate when the print run is happening, I guess. Yeah, and then who's printing it? I guess unless you did print on demand, could be cool. Let's see. I met Pete at Keith at my local con in 2019. That's cool. Is the last one Downcast in space? We joke about that, but no. Should I, there. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the Monstro. He starts off underwater. He starts off as a regular guy. You know, he's been thrown to the bottom of the ocean to wander endlessly for years. And then he realizes that his problem, his eyes are opened. He realizes what his problem is, and it's these gods that people can't see unless they have been through what he's been through. So he's on the hunt for these gods, essentially. And that hunt is he wants to go to the moon. You're not going to read that in Downcast 3 because it's not part of it. But if I ever do a Monstro miniseries, I'd love to do the moon story because I've got a story for that. So that could happen. But for the Downcast series, no, the moon is not, or the space is not an immediate location. Though there could be some crossover there. Anthology sounds good, like Lost Pages or something I enjoyed. Grendel, Black and White and Red, and had a collection of stories. Yeah, I kind of like anthologies too when they're connected. Like if it's one story, if you figure it out, like it's adding to lore of a single story, I like that idea. I don't know how you could possibly coordinate that depending on how many creators you have involved. But I think, for example, like Hellboy, there's a section in one of the library editions that's just basically an anthology. It's a whole bunch of short stories, and they're all Mike Mignola. But you could technically do that with a character if you planned around it. You know, if you I don't know, it could be interesting. So, for example, if you had a Cyberfrog anthology, and it was all these little stories about like a certain fight that went down from different points of view or something. So it's canon. I think that could be really cool. Ryan Hack has his anthology Unspeakable Text 2 up right now on Kickstarter. Okay. Ryan Hack, I know him. He did the Christmas books, right? They looked really good. Lost Pages. There you go. That's an anthology. Posting links. Chimera's already doing work. Very good. All right. Well, since we're not having anyone come in, I'm going to post the link one more time. No stress. I always wonder how this will go. If I had announced it, yeah, Bric-a-Brac, that's the name of it. If I had announced this, I think you'd have some people prepared to share. But tonight I didn't. I just decided to do it. So that's fine. I'll post that. If you want to come in, come in. If not, we're actually going to talk about Downcast and do a little bit of an update here. So one backer away from getting to 300 backers. Let me see. Okay, maybe let's see. I'm going to refresh this. Let's see if this has changed. 301 backers. Thank you, everybody. Look how close. We're less than $100 away. It's $98 away from hitting 17,000, which is fantastic. And it's actually doing better than the past Downcast campaigns in a couple of ways. We could go over that too, because the numbers are really interesting to me. First off, I'm just going to look down the tiers here real quick. We got the collector's bundle. This has been pretty popular. I have basically a collector's bundle that's got emailed to everybody on the email list. And so there's actually more people backing it that you're not seeing here on the front end, which has been fantastic. Let's see how we're one book apart. Downcast cover B has 54 sales and Downcast cover A has 55. So Eric is winning by one book. This has actually been a horse race, and these have been moving up and down quite often. So pretty interesting. We've got a t-shirt here. 2 so far sold on the front here. This is not a very good representation because I have so many add-ons that I can tell you we've sold at least 10 t-shirts, which it feels good. That's sort of the minimum where I want to be if I'm printing t-shirts, though I'd like to print a whole lot more because why not? It's a cool t-shirt. We have the book and All for Owen. All for Owen has been selling better than I thought it would. I was really not sure if people would be interested in a novel, but it's been moving. And if you're here for entertainment, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck in a novel. Both covers. We've got the new readers edition. I had to change this up because we sold out. So if you have one of those first printing volume ones, hang on to it, I guess. The demand burned right through them. So we got room for some new readers. Have to go back to print. It's going to be not as fancy. It's going to be very bare bones, but it'll be something. And of course, that original cover's still up. So here's a point I want to make. On both the first campaigns, the original cover sold in the first day. It's actually sold in the morning time when the campaign was first up. So because of that, both the first campaign and the second campaign had an immediate $1,000 bump in funding because somebody backed that cover. Here, we're doing great. We're a little bit ahead of where we've been on the other campaigns, but we have not sold that $1,000 original cover by Matt Weldon. So to me, that says that we could, it's possible that we'd actually be $1,000 up from where we are right now if everything else was the same. So I'm fine with this cover not selling. I will keep it. But if someone wants to support the campaign and bump us up $1,000, that's what it's there for. And I do appreciate that for sure. So that's something notable. Having said that, we're definitely at the part of the campaign where things begin to slow down a little bit. So everything's fine. We'll just keep on moving. So yeah, $98 will get us to $1,700, which is a pretty great place to be. And we'll keep moving. Getting the 20,000s, I'd love to get the 20,000, and that be sort of where the grind begins. And so we're getting pretty close, though. At the rate things are moving, I think we'll hit that probably within a week. Within a week, we'll hit that, I imagine. Let's see. Scott said, if I had headphones, I would have dropped in. I get it. No worries at all. Scott, where are you at, too? Are you in Germany or something? You across the world? Chimera says, I don't know if I should come in. I don't know if the chat can handle 2 monotone voices. I know, man. I don't even know why I live stream sometimes. Why anybody listens. No, you're fine. Chimera, you can pop in. We have the rules. You can't do too much damage. Underwater rocket to the moon. Is that a smiling moon? It looks like it. I see cheese. I love that. Brian Christgras here. He says, "We doggies, what's up, Clint?" Brian, you're another one too. If you want to come in here and talk about Six Gun Gorilla, the link is available. I can post it again. But yeah, absolutely. If you're interested in doing that, that's what the stream is for. So I will post it one more time. And while I'm at it, I'll post the link here to Downcast 3. And yeah, cool. All right. So while we're talking here a little bit, I got invited to speak about comic books locally here at a library. I mean, it's in Utah. It's in the same state. It's like an hour away. So I said yes, I would love to speak about comic books. And it's funny because they think I'm such a enigma because nobody writes comics. There are a lot of writers here, but there are not a lot of comics writers here. I've said that a million times, I know. So it's interesting. So I said, well, what do you want me to talk about? Because I could talk about crowdfunding if that's what you're interested in. We could talk about that, or I can talk about how to make comics, or I can just talk about my comics. So it can just be a sell-a-thon, we'll just talk about my stuff. But we'll see. I don't know. So I'm preparing a little talk about that. I'm going to bring some books. I'm going to make some sells and sign some things. And I'm really curious to see how it goes. What city? It's going to be in Brigham City, Utah. So if you are in Utah, you could go up there. It's not going to actually be until October, I think. They're planning ahead, but yeah, it'll be this fall. So Death Curse, you made a mistake. Call me out, Clint. Why don't you come in here and defend yourself? Huh? Let's see about that. Roland says, "Can I join now?" Yeah. Jump on in. Let's hear it. You could get into your anthology or whatever you want to talk about. I talked about what city, Death Curse. Come on, man. Get on your manicure game. Did you all see that video I posted? Utah famous. Maybe. I should be. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Utah famous. It's funny, there aren't very many comic creators here. There are a few, but I know who they are. I know what properties they work on. I never see them online anywhere though. So there's that. Let's see here. All right, we got your boy Roland is in here.
Hello?
Roland, how is it going?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, great. You can hear me. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm trying a new voice tonight. How do you like it?
Hey, the avatar's new?
I know it's a placeholder for my recording software.
Gotcha.
It's I believe OBS Studios.
Very cool. Yeah, it works. I've used OBS a little bit, and I always it can do so many things that I mess it up. So I just stopped using it. It's like too powerful for me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get straight to the point because I
Sure.
understand your times are valuable. So what I meant earlier about the idea of an anthology is that I have these various character analogs, and let me pull it up right now. I have Ranger Rouge, Le Val, Brucia Blue, and Garde Ivoire, and they are all various character analogs. Red Ranger being a character analog for like kind of like Flash Gordon, kind of like you know, fantasy on another world, kind of sci-fi book. Green Thief is just straight up Robin Hood, and Blue Shield is he's Batman basically, and the Ivory God, the one that's the most adult, is basically Captain America analog, but from French Africa. And the idea is that none of these characters can stand on their own as a solo title. So the idea is that it's an anthology in the sense that it's a collection of lost books, like quote unquote lost books from the early 40s, late 30s, about these French superheroes and how this unknown guy, being me, has figured out, oh, hey, I can just publish these old superhero books and make a quick buck. And the idea would be that I would have other people write the stories and make it seem like, oh, hey, these are actual stories from the late 30s, early 40s of, you know, the Ivory God and the Blue Shield and how they had these adventures fighting the Nazis and stuff like that. You get what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, they're yeah, like analogs. They're almost like archetypes of characters as well. Like you'll see a few different analogs. So my question is, would you want to handpick creators, or would you want to like accept applications and have creators come to you?
I definitely would want to be a bit more mindful of the artist, because the whole idea of it being like a lost archive, I want it to look very retro in that, you know, it looks like something that early Jack Kirby or, you know, early Will Eisner would have drawn back in the late 30s, early 40s kind of style, where it's all very flat and it's all very basic in terms of layouts and inking structure and coloring too.
Yeah. So you'd have an art direction that artists would have to work with. They'd have to work well with, really, to sort of match the style. Yeah, I mean, the only practical way, if I was going to do this, the practical way I would approach it is just say, I'd probably put out an application, say, hey, we're having an anthology coming. We want artists that can work in this style, maybe have some examples that people can see.
Yeah.
Especially,
and the thing is, if I may interrupt, I apologize.
You're fine.
Well, the thing is, like a lot of stories back in the day were about less than 15 pages. So the thing is, it would be about a 96-page square-bound book with 2 stories for each character. So that's 8 stories in all. And each story would be roughly about 11 to 12 pages per character. So that's technically about 22 to 24 pages for the whole character. But, that's split into 2 short stories that can be told over about 11 or 12 pages, because that's usually what the runtime was for page counts back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. This does, it really reminds me a lot of I guess it's an anthology, but the book I did with the Silver Streak story,
Yes, exactly like that. But the idea is that instead of it being like a modern interpretation, it would just be tongue in cheek, like, oh, hey, look at these old books that I found and remastered kind of idea. Oh, God, the accent's slipping.
It almost like, what was that? The Blair Witch Project, where you have full commitment. You have to stay in character, like full commitment that these are real stories that you found somewhere,
Right, as your boy Zach says, commit to the bit.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's a good idea. I think the part of it that's going to be hard is the cat herding part, which is just getting that many creators to get it done on time, that kind of thing. It's absolutely doable because there are people that do it, but I think a lot is going to come down to your application process and make sure you're clear about your deadlines. And it sounds cool. Do you have an idea of when you want to do it?
My main question is, where the hell do I go to find people, and not just artists, but writers too, that can write within the style of, serialized publications on that time?
Yeah. If I were you, I would first seek out people that that exist. For example, I know that Von Klaus is looking for writing work. So I would seek someone like him out, and ask him if he'll do a story. And then you ask him, hey, do you know another writer that would like to do a story as well? You could, depending on what your date is too, you could ask me to do a story. That it could be fun. I might be down for that. And so I would kind of start there, and then you ask them to refer you to other people. You might even have writers that say, I already have an artist that I love to work with, and you sort of build it out that way. I think that works. You're gonna get I don't know, you're gonna get to creators that'll be on task that way a little bit easier when you're going with referrals. But I still think you'll probably have to put out a call for writers or a call for artists, depending on how many you need. So
ideally I would need at least one artist per character, so 4 artists in all, or less artists that can better emulate that style more diversely, like somebody that can do a little Bob Kane here, a little Will Eisner there, a little Jack Kirby here, you know what I mean? If I can't get one person who's a jack of all trades to do them styles, then I'd have to get multiple people, which would just exacerbate the costs.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You might want to reach out to David Furr, because here he essentially did that format. He has 3 stories in here, so that would be one of the differences. But he might be worth reaching out to, and you could pick his brain a little bit because he has done it here, or something similar anyway. So yeah, man, I'm cool to see it. My last question for you is, do you have any idea of when you'd want to start putting this book together?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm the type of person who's an idea guy. That'll give you a little bit of context. And idea guys are not great leaders, because idea guys just keep adding and adding and adding. And that's why a lot of things that are led by idea guys either end up in development hell or are an unfinished mesh, because there's just so much that they keep retroactively adding to it. I mean, like, for example, I had this idea of, what if I were able to survey children and ask them for story ideas about, oh, what if this Captain America character, you could create what would he do? Oh, well, he'd go punch Hitler, and then he'd go to the moon and dance with elephants.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and then I'd send it to a writer and make sense of it. Because back in the day, that's exactly what they did. They had children come up with story concepts, and then they had the writers make sense of that nonsense.
It would be like kids say the darndest things, but in comics. That could be cool.
Right, because a lot of Superman stories from back in the day are really bizarre because they are based on what they got from submissions from literal children.
I did not realize that. You're talking Golden Age?
Yeah,
Okay.
like Golden Age and Platinum Age, a lot of those books, they were conceived conceptually by children. Were, oh, I want a story where Superman's so strong that he jumps across the planet and then he punches the moon and then a rocket explodes. Right, and then you get some guy like Dick Harrington or whatever, some guy who's just at a typewriter like, okay, now I gotta make 14 pages out of this 2 sentence nonsense.
Right. That actually explains a bit. In preparing for Silver Streak, I read his origin story, and I read a whole bunch of others from that time period when they were doing the anthology, just like you explained, where it's one comic and then they have like 10-page stories from each, all these characters that would just repeat every time. And some of them were they were real head scratchers. I can see that for sure. Well, your boy Roland, I appreciate you coming in here and sharing your idea. And
I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you again, Clint, and my new accent that keeps slipping.
Yeah, I noticed that a little too. No worries. Good to talk to you, of course. And
that dear old Eric Weathers wasn't on the show tonight to call out my terrible accents. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I just let it slide. The chat was talking about it, and it adds to the fun, I think. So excellent.
Or the man of a million voices, and you never know where I'm going to be coming from next. Clint, I'll carry you up.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thanks, Roland, and I'll talk to you later.
All right then. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. I was still waiting for Spencer Desmond to get in here. There are plenty of dudes. If you're looking for writers too, I don't know what you're I don't want to give you more work that you aren't prepared for, but here's a writer for you right here. Death Curses Spencer Desmond. You could look into him. Mr. Yanfue. I don't think I've seen you around a little while. Could just be me. He says, you look good, Clint. Have you exercised? Once, at least. I think I've done it once. No, Matt, this has been a tough year for keeping my weight down. That's for sure. But I will take the compliments however they come. So thank you. Metatron's Cube is here. Wave money and make demands. That's a good way. Again, like if you put out a call, like even on Twitter, DeviantArt, whatever. If you say I have a paid job, I need X amount of pages, and it has to be done within this time period, you will get a lot of people responding. You just have to sort of filter through that and figure out who you trust the most. A lot of it's gambling. If you don't have referrals, you could ask for referrals. Like, what other work have they done? I'm at the point for sure where I would never hire anybody that has never done a book before. Like I need to have somebody that's worked on a book first before we work together. So that would be on my list. Let's see. Can you ask me if I want to do a story? Here you go. This could be a writer or an artist. My logo is a green mask on Twitter. Now I'm going to be wondering who this is. A good way to start is to force a monopoly on computer operating systems and then buy up all the farmland in the US. Oh, wait, that is someone else's strategy to control others. All right. Wow. Very interesting. I'm always open to work. No one hits me up. Yeah. Part of it is, I think my problem too sometimes is when you're open for business, you have to let people know you're open for business. I'll tell you, there are artists that I was like, I want to hire this artist, but I'm pretty sure they're busy. And so I don't contact them. And then I'll hear later, like, I wish you would have contacted me because I needed money, or I was open for business, but I didn't know about it. So that's definitely a factor. So absolutely. Let's see. If I got bored with so much fighting, oh, you got bored with so much fighting. I get that. I got together with the other memers, and we troll ourselves into Discord. It's more fun like this. That's fair. I totally get that, man. You've made some funny memes too in your day. I am slutty for business. I just want to make cool comic books. Yeah, I hear you, man. I've been making so much work for myself that I haven't stepped back to think about getting work for other people. And I've been asked a few times to write things. The problem that I run into is that usually if I'm asked to write something, it's not a work for hire situation. It's I'm being asked to write it and crowdfund it. And that is a whole other commitment level that I clearly I can't crowdfund all the comic books. Even right now where I have 2 comic books technically funding and still in production, it's a big ask for backers to be backing multiple books that are not shipped out already, if that makes sense. So I don't know. That's where I have reservations. But in theory, if someone hired me to write something and it had a definitive page count, what exactly they're looking for, and it was work for hire, that's the kind of stuff that I'm open to, or depending on the time. Right now, no. Maybe in a couple months, though. Something like that, I think I would be open to. Okay, I've not stopped. The new ones are just much better than the previous ones. You're getting better. I just don't focus on Comicsgate, but I still put you in some of them. Hey, I love being in some memes. You keep doing what you're doing. It's all good. No, that's fair. It makes sense. I've noticed though, with all of the fighting that there was, has there been fights? I haven't really seen fights. I actually saw, I think Mitch Brightweiser was streaming earlier today, or I think it was earlier today, or he's streaming now. I don't know. But the title of his stream was Drama Sells Comics. And I started thinking about that. And all of the drama right now is clearly manufactured. Did you see my call out video to Death Curse? Should we play this? That could be fun. Maybe we will. Let's get into YouTube. We'll see if Peter is just gonna have to. I keep hoping I can coax him into a fight here, but that hasn't happened. Mr. Yonafue says, "Haven't you seen Preston? You're talking about Preston Poulter? Oh yeah, yeah. He is one of the reasons. He's one of the big reasons why I stopped talking to people online. I pulled back so much. I've had now probably 3 people that I could name that I have helped promote their books for no reason. What am I even getting here? Michael Braincroft is streaming right now too. Let me get to Alterna Comics here real quick. All right, there we go. We'll play this one. I gotta pause it here real quick. All right, let me finish my thought here though. It's like people come in, they want help promoting their book. They message me and they give me sob stories over and over, and I'm trying to help. I don't know these people, trying to help, and then it turns into, well, I want to come on your stream. Sure, of course, come on my stream, and then it turns into, hey, I want you to destroy every professional working relationship you have in comic books so that I can feel better about myself. This has happened 3 or 4 times to me. It sounds ridiculous, but Preston Poulter is one of those people. It's just, you can never give him enough. Anyway, that I probably shouldn't have even said any of that because this will bite me in the butt later, but I just ignore him. That's all it comes down to. All All right, let's watch this. Okay, gotta stop sharing. Gotta reshare and make sure the audio is shared. All right, here we go. Peter asked me to send this. He said, call anyone out that you'd like, and I did so. Do you smell that? Smells like weakness. And I hate the smell of weakness. I'm looking at you, Spencer Desmond, puncher of roosters. No, I'm not talking about your impressive roster of Alterna Comics titles. Can't Kill Cade, Void Walker. Oh no, it's not that. I'm talking about your manicure game, brother. What is this? I haven't seen nails that unkempt and gnarly since The Walking Dead. I'm calling you out, Desmond. A good finger clipping, maybe a light filing, maybe a squirt or two of lotion. Take your cuticle care seriously, man. You ever see Steve Ditko with a hangnail? No, man, because he was a professional. If you want to hit those Ditko digits, you got to take care of those digits like Ditko. That's all I have to say to you, Spencer. We're through. Oh, and back Downcast 3 on Indiegogo right now. This is the level. This is why I say manufactured, because this is the level of drama that's happening in comics, at least in my sphere. Because I full on have ignored people that cause actual problems. Here we go, baby hand Stoker. You should do that, man. Do it. I'm expecting a video here. Ooh, Clint, you're so rude. That must have been Clint Stalker. Yeah, depending on who you ask. Hard hitting. I know, maybe a little cringy. We could go. It's okay. It was kind of supposed to be. Hello, why are there two Clints? That's a good question, but hello. You got me on hobo nails in the middle of a move. I'm totally kidding. Here's my thing is I feel like when you're purposely going over the top and trying to make up drama, what I don't want to do is like make fun of your books, because even though it's all good and fun, that actually does affect sales, in my opinion. I think I've seen it happen. So I don't. You have good books, man. You're a good writer. That's not into question. So I had to pick something else superficial, and we'll go with your fingernails, because that's all I could see on that whole stream. So you're a good sport. Appreciate it. Very cool. While we're talking about it, though, check out Downcast, on Indiegogo. This is the reason for this season. I'm going to be posting this in the chat as well. If you haven't backed it, it's a great night to do so, because look, literally anybody, I think it'd be impossible for us to get another backer without hitting 17K. So if you want to make us hit 17K, you could be you could go spike the football on Twitter. You could make a call out video, whatever you got to do. Let's see. I just got here, so I have no idea what's going on. I've been posting the link in the chat for anybody that wants to come on, and you can ask questions. If you have questions, you can promote a project you have. You can float an idea that you have, a concept for a book, potentially that you want to do. You can do that. You can. What else can you do? Anything family friendly. That's my only requirement. So those Ditko nails. I've never seen Steve Ditko's nails. I just imagine they're doing okay. My girlfriend thought it was hilarious. It was good. I had fun making it. I wish I could have made it a little longer, but it probably ended up being just fine now that I watch it. I like it. Not gods. Yeah, you got my my accent there. All right, should we watch that video too? Because I think the "Can you smell that" is becoming a meme as well that we could meme out. Let's watch this and see if you pick up on it.
I see what no one else can. One taste of that cursed stone sent me to the bottom of the ocean. For years I wandered, searching but not seeing. Finally, when I opened my eyes, I saw them for what they are. Not benevolent, not omnipotent, and not gods. Do you smell that? It's here. If you could see what I see, you would understand why I hunt them.
I'll be honest, my favorite part is the music. I love the music. It's so good that I had to. It's not free; it's copyrighted. But I asked, I contacted them and asked them if I could use it. And they said, "What is it for?" I said, "A YouTube video." And they said, "Sure, go ahead and use it." So okay, well, technically, it's also promoting a book, but I'm not actually monetizing the video directly. So they said, "Yeah, whatever, man, just whatever." So they are copyright claiming every single video that plays in, though. So there will be ads and they'll be earning ad revenue, which is fine. I'm okay with that, actually. That's a good trade-off. Absolutely. So that's why I started my video with on this one. No, not this one. This one. That's why I started it with, can you smell that? It's going to be a meme, I'm telling you. All right. Downcast Resubmerged live on Indiegogo right now. We're almost at 17K without even selling the original cover. That's pretty good for a Downcast book. I'm pretty happy with it. It's nice to see new readers coming in. That's also helpful. And while people are asking too, I forgot add this invite. I'm going to add the link again. If anybody wants to come in and say anything, then you're welcome to do so. We've been going for almost an hour, so there's not a lot of time left. But you can come in and say your piece if you've got to say something. In the meantime, let's refresh this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh no. Okay, well, I guess back to the drawing board. I thought I had an email. That wasn't it. It was for Fatal, actually. So, which is great. I love those happening. I just didn't watch it very closely. One backer away from 17,000. That's exactly where we want to be. Ted Lehman says, "Can you smell that?" Is a meme I live with. It's called My Son's Room. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my son is at the age where we had a talk about deodorant, and I took him to the store. This is one of those father moments, right? That Ted, I'm sure you have been here. You say, we're going to go to the grocery store. You show up at Walmart. You say, follow me. You walk down the deodorant aisle and you say, look, there's a wide selection of deodorant you will be wearing. We are not leaving here until you agree to wear deodorant. And then, pick out a scent you like, and you're going to wear this stuff every day because you stink. We've been through that just recently. So things have been smelling a little bit better, but I still get that. Great cuticles, I hear. Yeah, I like that. Do you smell that, Leroy? I love it. Let's see. The problem is his feet. He has them. It's his feet. Yeah, deodorant, I don't know what to do there, man. The feet thing is a whole new problem. But maybe our next guest will have a solution. George Peter Gatsis. Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hey, Clint, long time no talk. It's been like 2 years.
It has been a long time. How are things going?
It's going good. How are you? I'm waiting for that awesome book that I backed. That space
Fatal?
Yeah.
I know, man.
What's going on? I'm salivating. That's one of the best and easiest projects that I've ever jumped on.
Yeah, well, thanks for backing it. First off, yeah. So Charlie, I posted this in the updates, and I get though that I think life comes fast. But
if you're doing updates, I back so many books. The updates just keep coming. It's like noise now.
Yep. Yeah. No, I totally get what you mean. So Charlie's working on it. He's had some family disasters. I don't know how else to say it, but his wife was diagnosed with cancer. She's been getting better, but she had to have surgery. and it's sort of a series of events that have happened for him that have made drawing take much longer than we had expected. So he's still working on it. Unfortunately, the book is late. I felt really bad about that, but I can say that I think it'll be worth the wait because we're not showing all the pages, but the pages that I have seen are fantastic. I think you're going to love it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, yeah. I think on average, a lot of people who back books, they usually back it and say, it's going to come to me when it does. A lot of people have been lately complaining, oh, it's late and all that stuff. But then I hear, on the flip side, oh, wait a minute. If it does end up getting to me, it's all good. We're good.
Yeah. I think for me too, like you mentioned with updates, I have backed so many books. I'm not like, I get updates and I just delete them. So I totally get that. But we're trying to be really transparent about it. So, part of it honestly too is I think we're a little ambitious with the time frame. So, we'll see. He's working on it, and I cannot wait to get the book out. I think people are going to love it. It's going to knock your socks off.
Well, yeah, it's like the one book that I was actually surprised. I got the second issue, the second book from Douglas Ernst. I forgot the name of it. Give me a second.
Oh, Soul Finder.
Soul Finder. Yes, that's right. I was just going to pull it off my shelf. And what he did, it's hardcover, and it's a full book. Half the book is, you're not getting half a story. You're getting the full story, right? But half the book is the whole story, fully colored, lettered, and all that stuff. And then the other half of the book is the black and white line art.
Yeah.
From Brett.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going, yes, unexpected. And the first thing I was going like, I wonder how Sweetcast is doing right now.
Yeah. No. I actually picked that up, and it's hardcover too, which is expensive. But I've been meaning to ask him about how. Because he didn't launch it on Indiegogo. I've been meaning to ask him how it sold, and it seemed like he had a really good start. I'm just curious how all went.
From my understanding is he sold out.
Wow!
Because everything went directly off his website. It's a good gimmick. What you've done is a good gimmick. Not gimmick in a bad way. It's a gimmick where people, it's catchy. It captures people's attention, and it's like cool.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Doncast 3?
We're just we launched it on Tuesday. We're literally one backer away from hitting 17,000, which is pretty great actually. Without having sold the original cover, if I mentioned that, everybody. We're doing really well. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far.
Okay,
and I'm just trying to keep it alive.
Okay, now you're into the territory that I like. So tell me, do you haven't gone to your Indiegogo page yet? But does it have 1, 2, and 3 as a package deal? Yes.
So we had them as separate books, and I thought we might have enough to get through this campaign, but we sold out. So it's a good problem to have. But I have this guy right here for new readers, or you can add it on. And basically, we're reprinting 1 and 2 together. It's not going to be like the Prestige Premium format. It's a reprint. It's pretty bare bones, but then you can catch up with the story. So that way, so you can either get this or get the add-on, and that way you don't miss out on anything.
Okay, so for me to I get the new readers reprint plus issue 3.
Yes. Yep. So I'll catch you all up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just wonderful. Let's see. Click there. I agree to the terms.
Oh.
And
he's doing it live.
There you go. I'm backer 313.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome.
It's like I couldn't back Cyberfrog 1 or 2 or Graveyard Shift 1 or 2. It's like I can't because the shipping cost is ridiculous. You know, right?
I get that, and that's yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But now that you got 3 books for one shipping cost, boom, I'm there.
Yeah,
I did that with Graveyard Shift. I actually backed Malin for the first time because what? He's got 3 books, 1 shipping cost. Boom, I'm there, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I did the same thing with Graveyard Shift, and it had more to do with just like I only had so much money, and then every time I was in Graveyard Shift mode, it was like I don't have the money for it yet. So I finally backed all of it, and yeah, it does help. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, totally awesome.
Yeah, so thanks for backing. I appreciate it. I'm like waiting for it. Takes a minute. There's a little bit of lag, but there we go. Screenshot that one. Thank you. You did it. Past $17,000 on what, day 3? That is pretty good. Best Downcast campaign so far. We're pulling ahead of other Downcast campaigns, and we haven't sold that original cover even. So
it'll be extra special if you do like an oversized. I'd be freaking in heaven.
Yeah, I was talking. I don't remember. Maybe it was Eric. I would eventually, someday. I don't know. It would be cool to do an omnibus or some like hardcover.
Oh no! I think you misunderstand when I said oversized. I'm doing for my joking book 2. It's 10 inches by 15 inches.
Gotcha.
I'm telling everybody. My campaign came and gone, and now I have it on my online direct store. But I have 2 books, joking book 1 and 2. And they're sized 10 inches by 15 inches, 120 pages each book. And it's like I always want to do an oversized treasury edition, just like Spider-Man versus Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man kind of thing.
Yeah,
like the old stuff. And I've finally been able to do it. And the crazy thing is, if you're able to order, if you're able to sell to enough customers, the size of the book is actually the same cost as the standard size.
Yeah. I think,
and the reason why I'm saying this is I just want to put this little worm in your head because the art coming out of you, the concept that coming out of you for the Fatal, it's like that thing just would look absolutely spectacular oversized, like at least 10 by 15 inches, huge, black and white, just black and white, no color.
Right.
Be sweet.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I need to look into it a bit more. Something I'd like to do is plan from the beginning, like before I put together a campaign, how the dimensions or possibilities like that. And I had been so locked into the regular comic book size, you know what I mean, standard, that I hadn't considered it a lot. But I've been talking with the printer quite a lot lately, and I don't know, it's amazing all the stuff that you can do now. So it's not a bad idea at all.
It's fun. I mean, I totally dig what you're saying, but it's fun to be able to do just little things like that. I mean, it's just the fact that you're going to give us a black and white version of the book, which it's like, wow, an artist edition version.
Yeah,
that's just that's just awesome. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for it. His black, it's tough because his black and whites are just so cool. So it's like, okay, I think we're gonna pull the trigger. We'll do it, and it's working out. Campaign's been very successful. So I can't wait to get it out to everybody.
So what are your plans after Downcast 3 and Fatal? Where are you going from here?
Well, so next one I have my sights on is Dracula. A lot of people are asking about Dracula, and so that's what I want to do. I want to give the fans what they want.
They're all buying to the myth that you're related to to Bram Stoker.
to Bram Stoker. So I am related, but it's so ridiculously distant that it's laughable. But he's like, I forget, he's like my 11th cousin, 4 times removed. It's ridiculous. But I will claim that, and it'll just, again, it's for the memes. So but I'm treating the book very serious though. Like it's not going to be a comedy. We're going to treat it with all seriousness and respect.
So what is it? How are you tackling this? As a retelling, as a new story? What is it?
So it's going to be hard to make everyone happy. So I'm actually doing 2 different versions of Dracula. I'm trying to decide if one is going to just be a backup story in the book, or if it'll be like an ash can on the side or something. But I'm doing one that's sort of his origin story that's old, and it's like my version of Dracula's origin. And then I'm doing a Dracula story that's a modern day telling of Dracula. It would be set in the year 2020. So it'll be a historical fiction by just a year or 2 years or something like that. But yeah, so both the stories are really cool. I'm excited about it. We just have not been producing art because I need to get these 2 books fulfilled first before I move on.
What? You're focused on getting the job done? No.
That's the plan. That's the plan. So and like luckily with Downcast, we've got it finished already. So getting that, it's just a matter of getting it printed and fulfilled. So that's good news. When it comes to Fatal, again, we're working through some hard times, but we'll get the book out. So I'll be in just shipping mode here pretty soon. I think all summer I'm going to be shipping books, essentially.
So how do you feel now that you've got like 3, 4 books happening? It's you're no longer a noob. Working on just breaking it in on the first book. How do you feel? Like you got a system down, or you're recreating yourself every time?
There's definitely an element to it that it feels like it's a system. Like I know what to expect here. I'm not panicked. Once you hit day 3, you kind of hit a plateau. I'm not panicked about it because it happens every single time. You just keep grinding through. But a few other things, like I see people asking questions about the reprint, stuff like that. It's like, I've never had to deal with a reprint before. How do we handle it?
On a technical level, all you do is put in the credits where the legal lines are. You just say second printing in there. That's it. You're done.
Yeah. And technically we have more differences than that because it's not going to have any of the extras that were in it. I'm calling it the mass market version. The paper weight is going to be thinner.
That's all. What do you call it? Minor details.
Right.
People get it. It's a second print.
Yeah.
They missed out on the first one. What are you going to do? That's the market. The people who are lucky enough to get the first edition they're lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the nature of publishing.
Right. Yeah. So there are some differences, but the story, you're still going to get the story. You're not going to get the extras. The paperweight is going to be more like a normal trade paperback. It's not going to be the thick. You got my books before. They're thick.
Yeah.
So it won't be quite as nice, I guess, in that regard, but it'll be a nice book. It has the story. You'll get caught up. Those are the differences.
So what I'm hearing is sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Are you printing? Are you printing in the United States or outside of the United States?
Yes. Yep. Printing in the United States, it saves me a lot of headache, and I just love saying that we print in the United States. So
that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Costs a little bit more, but shipping is lower, so it kind of, I don't know. I like the time frame too. You don't have to wait 3 months. Some people are waiting 6 months for books to get, from China.
Yeah, it does take time for those boats to dock and to offload those big crates.
Yep. Yeah. So for me, it's a matter of weeks that I wait to get the books. So I'm really happy with that. That's not the CG way. You have to take a minimum of 2 years. Yeah. I'm late, but it's nice that I'm not as late as many other people have been. So, Spencer, I got to see Spencer come down on me with a response video for sure. George, it's been good talking to you. Do you have any last words before we?
Oh yeah, I was gonna send you to my website and all that stuff, or tell everybody to go to georgepetergas.com. But I got something. I pasted a YouTube video in the private chat. It's showing off my oversized book, but
you guys are.
But it's fine. You're not going to get copyright struck. But Nerdrotic actually is showing off my oversized book.
Oh, cool!
How epic is that?
Let's give it a little watch here.
Unbelievable. We also got a comic from George Peter Gatsis, and it is Joe King versus World's Greatest Average Joe, and it's oversized, and I love these. It's like treasury size. Well done, my friend. Well done. You can take a look inside.
See, that's true.
And I mean,
this is the book I showed off on your stream 2 years ago.
Just see the ship.
Wow.
Just saw the ship. There it is, right there.
Pretty cool, oversized.
There's a ship.
Oversized.
I
just realized
the ship.
I have the exact same microphone
I'll show you in just a second. My wife actually stole that to
watch this
room.
Cards.
It's a Rode Procaster.
Yeah. He has an Indiegogo campaign again.
Sure, cards.
Joe King versus World's Greatest Average Joe. It's George Peter Gatsis.
Very cool.
And here comes the topper.
He did sketches in it too, right? So you got that as well.
I have artboards inside the book,
and now I'll show you the ship. And here,
part of the book,
3D printed.
My goodness,
this thing is awesome.
And everyone who backed my book got a free 3D printed spaceship, but it's in full color. It's not great. That is the prototype. I don't have the digital files to recreate it.
I like it. Mark,
okay, yeah, that's it. That's it.
All agree on. Keep Portland away from me.
Yeah, that's it. You can stop the video.
Cool.
Yeah, so I sent him the prototype, and after I sent him the prototype, I realized that, oh my God, I wrote over the files, the original source files, as I was building out the full color spaceship. And I realized that he's got the prototype, and I can't recreate it because all the files have been written over.
Man, that feels bad.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
it's limited edition, I guess.
Right? Well, yeah, it is. Here, let me. There we go.
Here, I'll make this. That's the painted version. Cool.
No, it's not painted. This is the actual plastic.
Oh wow!
All this is the actual plastic. That's red plastic, blue plastic, green plastic, white plastic. And all these are different parts, 3D printed and then glued together.
Very cool. I'm impressed. I've dabbled a little bit in 3D printing, but not enough to even design a 3D file. I'm just printing stuff other people make. So.
Yeah, I know. It is a time-consuming process. I mean, cool. Oh my God, it is. But Clint, thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to talk to you about your projects. I'm so thrilled what's going on. My best to your artist. I think we're all pulling for him. Because, gosh darn it, that's an epic book too.
I know he's amazing, a good guy too. So yeah. Well, thank you, George. Appreciate it, and we'll definitely see you around.
All right, take care.
Okay. All right. Very cool. We did it with the help of George Peter Gatsis. Really appreciate that. Cross 17,000. The next, clearly, we're going for 18,000 next. It's funny how that works. It's just counting. But really, 20,000 is a pretty important landmark. Not for stretch goal reasons, but for like book production reasons. It sort of indicates that we're on a healthy trajectory. I guess that's what I'm looking for. So if we hit 20K within the next week or so, I'll be really happy. If we hit it sooner, then that life's going to be even better. So that'll be great. I am seeing some smack talk going down. For not this, Downcast paper stock is thick. That's just a matter of fact. That's all that is. Yeah, hey Spencer, you come down on Clint. Are you going to take his candy? That would be cold. He's gathering intel. He's got to find something that he can pick on. That's what you got to do, man. Let's see. Thinner books will suit my bookshelves. I hear you. Yeah, there's some benefits to some thinner books, that's for sure. The thick books are nice, and I like having thicker paper than, you know, like the Marvel trades that you would normally get. I like being a little bit more prestigious than that, but I sometimes go overboard, and Downcast has, I think, been a little overboard with the paper thickness. The response will be crippling. Nerdrotic is short, is he? He looks like he would be tall, but I'm not sure. But it is really funny to see that. I don't know if you can see the stripes. If I turn my microphone, let me see. Sorry if that's noisy. I can turn it this way. Here, I'll make this way. Let's make me full screen for a minute. You see my microphone? It has these little lines in it, and it has that little gold spot right here. And his has the same thing. So those are marks of a Rode Procaster, which is a nice microphone. I really like this microphone. But yeah, we have the same microphone. So there we go. I guess that'll be my claim to fame, if we want to call it that. 3XL size. All right. Say, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. Let's see. So color-coded plastic like Gunpla. Gunpla? I don't know. Sure. Killing it, dude. Nice. Sorry, Mr. Yonifue. I should have pulled that up earlier when he was on. How can I reach out to Dave Furr? I didn't back his campaign. I've got his email address, Roland. Why don't I just email it to you? We'll do it that way, just in case. I don't know if he wants his email out everywhere, but I'll send it to you. So Gary said that he was moving out to California, from California to Texas, and then he moved to San Diego. Is that true? That is not. He was in San Diego originally. I know that for a fact. So I thought he was moving from San Diego to Texas, but I could be wrong. And Heroinberg, since you're here, I technically am having an open mic tonight. We talked about maybe doing it on Monday. You're welcome to come in tonight, or we can have you on Monday. That works too. But I think I'm going to do a similar format. Not everybody likes to jump into the stream. And I think I probably won't be going much longer. But if you want to get in and talk about your project, there's a link. Let's see. Gundam plastic. Okay. I gotcha. Got it. Great to see you back streaming. Thanks. I mean, a lot of it is promoting the book, honestly. I like doing regular videos because I think it's because I have control of things and I can plan it. Despite how erratic and unplanned my videos seem, I put planning into them. When it comes to live streams, I try to plan a little bit, but I can't really plan the way that I like to. And I think that makes it a little hard for me. So that is a factor. So Gundam plastic models, the Japanese have to come up with cutesy names for everything. That's what this is then. All right, here we go. Heroinberg, welcome to the stream.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sound
good? Yeah, I was debating whether to do this because I've been modding since 8 p.m., but hey, why not?
Well, glad to hear your voice. Glad to have you here.
Sure.
You have, I know, I've seen, well, there's a few different things that you've been up to, right? You've got
besides modding, yes.
besides modding, you got a TV series, really, like it's a series.
Yes,
we have a comic book.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, well, it's been going on since 2017. Heroinberg is both a live-action TV show, which now has 21 episodes. It says 19, but 2 of them are double parts, double length, so it's 21. And about a year ago, we started putting out comics based on the same universe, and we have 2 out. We just crested. We didn't crest, but we just hit 150 stores nationwide. During the COVID era, we decided, in the downtime of Diamond and all that, we decided to go back to stores. And we're adding about 1 store every other day. And this week, I sold 56 comics to 3 stores. So that's pretty good. That's better than crowdfunding, at least in terms of sheer numbers of sales. It's not as good financially, but it takes us a lot less time. We only have to spend about an hour a day on the phone and doing emails, and and plus we get to support local comic shops all over the country. Crowdfunding is great. I back both Kickstarters and Indiegogos, we're doing it direct to stores, and we're one of the few people doing it this way right now.
Nice. I've heard a lot of stories about comic creators doing that, where it's like pre-internet almost, or pre-social media being.
Yeah, it's 1980s approach, like Dave Sim. Dave Sim from Cerebus, he did it, right? And I don't know if Kevin Eastman did it as well, but the people in the 80s did that, and we're just duplicating that, except we use emails in addition to phone calls. And you just have to have your stuff you have to keep track of all that. And then if people get the book, you have to give them ways to promote. 3 ways we help comic shops promote is we give signed copies to the stores for no extra cost. Our cover artist is Jason Wright, who recently finished coloring Shane Davis on Metal Men. And before that, he colored EVS on Green Lantern. And he has over 650 credits in the industry, mostly with DC, but also some with Marvel and Valiant. So he signs the covers if the stores want it. And we also send 11 by 17 color posters that take up a lot less room than those huge Marvel ones. But, they're impactful. And the third thing we do is if people really want to watch the live action and they have televisions in the stores, some stores are too literary for that, and we respect that. But the stores that play anime on screens can also play our videos. It's like watching Electra Woman and Dyna Girl or Power Rangers, right? Except made in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And so we send them thumb drives with the latest episodes. So not only can people download them from our website all over the world, but we kind of have a second network, like a closed circuit TV network in about 40 or 50 shops, where at time they might be playing one of our episodes. Somebody walks by the screen and says, "Hey, what the heck is that?" It looks like Wonder Woman from the 70s or Xena. And then the guy behind the counter says, "Oh, you can get that book over there."
Yeah. Nice. There's something to just being able to speak to somebody to sell them a book. I had a window cleaning business for a little while, and the only way that got off the ground was just going door to door and talking to people, Yep. So there's definitely something to that for sure. And it kind of gets me thinking, I told myself like I would do that kind of stuff, but now I have an alternate book, I got floppies. I should really start doing that kind of work to just get the word out. So,
well, again, I mean, Publishing Pete, he's like an awesome guy, and he's probably in the chat right now. But he didn't launch the one of the things that led us to actually go nationwide with the phone calls and internet emails and stuff was, he never launched the distro yet. Maybe he's planning to in the future. But since we submitted to Pete and that wasn't ready yet, we just decided to do it ourselves. And at this point, like if you name a state, we probably have at least 2 stores in it, and sometimes 8 or 10. So like for example, in your state, we have End Zone in Clearfield, and we have Black Cat in Salt Lake. So,
yep. Very cool, man. Well, congrats. Do you have a link to your book? Where can people pick it up?
Okay. Well, It's pretty easy, actually. There's two ways they can find our comic books. One is simply by clicking on heroinberg.com. Should I put that in the private thing so I can send it to you here?
Yeah.
And
then
you can even, I don't know if you feel like pulling up the website for a minute, but it's up to you if you want to. It's right there. So heroinberg.com, HEROINEBURGH.com. It's the only thing on the internet. Yeah, there you go. So if you click on comic books, there's comic book number 1 and comic book number 2, and it's as easy as clicking one button and then ordering the book. Also under comic books, the comic book 1. That is Jason Wright's cover art right there on the left. And
Cool.
The interior art is done by 3 local artists as well. You can see it on the right there. There's a back cover pinup by Marcel Walker. That's his girlfriend who plays the live action version of that character. And so we asked him to draw his girlfriend. And of course, he did a good job. And so you see the buttons there? Add to cart. $9.99 for domestic and $19.99 for international, which is, pretty makes sense. And it's more than competitive with any crowdfunded book.
Absolutely.
And then, the same thing is true with the comic book number 2, which is the second page on that drop-down menu right there. Very good. Thank you so much. That looks great. And you can see there Jason Wright's excellent art. He does a really good job with us. He makes our T-shirts and stickers too. And on the right, you see once again Benjamin Zeus Barnett, his interiors, and Marcel's Poderosa. And for issue 2, we added Wayne Brown. He is known for a book called Like Father, Like Daughter, which has 7 issues out, published by Kat Kalamia from New York, from the Comic Uno channel. There is his art right there. You see a battle downtown between the superheroines and some nasty flying robots amongst the skyscrapers of downtown Pittsburgh. We were kind of inspired by the fight scene from Inspector Gadget, where that was filmed in Pittsburgh. You can see the buildings downtown. So and then the third drop down in that comic book drop down is comic shops, and that lists single comic shop where if you don't feel like clicking on a button, you can walk to your comic shop or drive, ride on a bike like you used to do when there were newsstands. Right. And just get them. They're all listed in alphabetical order, and including the ones from Utah and all the other states. I think other than Pennsylvania, we have some pretty big clusters of stores in Ohio, Florida, and Texas, especially. Central Florida is really important to us because we're very influenced by some creators from Florida, such as George Perez and Bill Black of FemForce, and Roland Mann from Silverline Comics. So we hope to go down to Central Florida at some point and thank all our supporters down there. Western New York has a cluster of stores. We're in New York City and Long Island.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, we've got stores that are some people. We have Billy Tucci's home store, for example.
Yeah.
we have Bill Mouse's home store. Actually, Bill Mouse, from Don Chin's book X-Bars, right?
Yeah.
Bill Mouse's home stores are in Virginia Beach, and we just got both of those stores to take our books, and that guy was super, super nice. That's Trilogy Comics. That's not up yet, but it will be next week on that list. Cool. I just sent him a box of 20 issues today to Virginia Beach. It's things are popping.
Nice.
And support your LCS, and back your crowdfund campaigns at the same time. It's all good.
Nice. That's really impressive. That's a lot of shops, and that's just hitting the pavement and talking to people. So kudos.
Hitting the electronic pavement, as it were. Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Well, cool. Great to talk to you, and I wish you luck on this. And definitely, I will see you around for sure.
Okay. As a conclusion for our little showcase here, would you feel like playing the brand new trailer? It's about 50 seconds long.
Where's the trailer at?
You can go to the episodes. The first, season 2. There you go.
Season 2.
Mm-hmm. I think that's it. Yeah, there you go. So if you go down, you'll find, no, that's 14. Go all the way down to 19. And that's the brand new trailer. You can blow it up if you want to. I guess people can't see it unless you blow it up. And
Let's
then
do
you
this.
This is the live action.
She's living in Harrenburg. Never mind what you heard. Super heroine is the word. She's living fantastic dreams.
These are all local actresses.
She's shooting out laser beams, taking over computer screens. She puts her costume on, and she's feeling super strong. When deadly threats attack, she'll be ready to strike back. She's living in Harrenburg.
I love that music.
Yep. That's our little tribute to a lot of our influences is from 70s and 80s TV shows, right? Like Adam West, Batman, Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, Wonder Woman, Bionic Woman, 80s, like Red Sonja, stuff like that. So we kind of lean heavily on a lot of our episodes are actually named after 1980s post-punk and new wave tunes. Because I listen to a lot of stuff like Gary Newman and Human League and stuff like that. So that's a synth pop ditty that I wrote when I was in high school in the 80s. And I just repurposed the lyrics and turned them into She's Living in Harrenburg. And
nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, man. So check out Harrenburg TV shows and also
comics.
You have the comics. Yeah. Excellent.
Yep. And and we even we have T-shirts and stickers and stuff like that. Every comic book that people buy has a free sticker from Jason Wright inside of it. There are 8 different designs. So
cool, awesome. Well, it's great to talk to you.
Thanks.
And wish you luck working hard. That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Good. And best wishes on Downcast 3, man. It's looking incredible.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited about it. So cool. Have a good one.
Uh-huh.
All right. Very cool. That's it makes me like I should be better about doing other kinds of promotion besides just YouTube. I've been talking about doing a bit more and try to do some advertising and stuff, but yeah, talking to people is it is actually incredibly effective. Talking to people face to face. So all right. Well, I didn't see any call outs. I was waiting to see if Peter Cimenti had some if he was gonna throw down. I was half expecting that to happen. I know that I probably have Death Curse. I probably have Spencer brooding right now, just waiting, biding his time for his response video. But we'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, I think it's been a good stream. Thanks for everyone for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow in a regular video. I'll see you next time.